stress, just need a break. Grab a beer, some tequila, it's gonna be great. Come on, all my friends, it's the Tony Galo Show.
All right, what's up? Welcome to the Tony Galo Show. My name is Tony. This is my best friend and co-host Sahaj. Sahaj, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien, ¿y tú?
Muy bien, muy bien, muy bien. I'm fired up and ready to go.
I'm fired up and ready to go too.
Fired up and ready to go.
Fire up these nuts.
Okay. Your mom listens to this, by the way.
She's not gonna get the reference.
By the way, shout out to Sahaj's mom, who is our number one fan.
Mona. Mona.
We love you.
Love you, Mona.
Thank you for listening. Last week she was anticipating our episode, and I was like, man, I gotta get it. I gotta get something out because we recorded that episode like 2 weeks prior to it being released. It was crazy, but
We also have another podcast that you gotta, and he also has a full-time job. He's not unemployed, so he has to.
I have a lot going on.
A lot of responsibilities.
A lot going on. So there's a lot, yeah. But let's start off with this story here. Surprising things that are illegal, like in other countries that we may do here in the U.S. or something. Mm-hmm. So here's some surprising things that are illegal in some places. Riding a horse while drunk is illegal in Japan, and I feel like that's illegal here in the U.S. I don't know. You're a cop. Would you? Can we do that? I know you can ride a horse around in the streets.
I don't think.
I'm testing.
I don't think you could do that because you could be publicly intoxicated, placed under arrest for that.
Yeah. So I think that's not exclusive to Japan. Not walking your dog is illegal in Italy.
Oh, wow.
How do you police that, though?
Yeah, how do you police that, right?
Like,
right.
I guess like a neighbor could complain, like, hey, I haven't seen this dog being walked like all day long.
Well, and what constitutes as a walk? If you just let it out in your backyard and it walks itself.
Sometimes you like to let the dog out on the turf.
Yeah.
On our balcony's turf.
To take a piss.
So are you walking the dog?
No, she made that habit herself by taking a piss in the balcony.
It's expensive turf, too.
I never allowed it.
Kissing on train platforms in France.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So if you go to France and you're like trying to be romantic and stuff, cut it.
Isn't France like the country of like love and romance and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Building sandcastles on the beach in Ereclia. I don't know how to say that country name right there.
Erection? Wait, what the hell? Where is that place?
No idea. But you can't build. Have you ever built a sandcastle before?
Dude, I've tried by giving up.
Like, did you use buckets and stuff?
Yeah, like I've tried doing it, but I just give up.
It was hard.
Yeah. I tried making a snowman too, and I gave up in like a minute.
I feel like I've made a snowman before. Feeding pigeons in Venice is illegal. You can't feed pigeons in Venice. Sometimes, now that I'm on this health kick, I buy I go to McDonald's and I buy like a McDouble and a McChicken.
Uh-huh.
This came from Coach Luke Holbrook, and other people have done it in the past. And then I put the patty together. So I have like 2 slices of bread. Basically, I say all that to say I have 2 slices of bread that are free, and I just toss them out to the birds, and then they all just swarm to the bread.
Wait, so you just do the patties then? So essentially, you have a sandwich without bread, right? Just you have 2 patties of meat.
Well, I ordered 2 burgers, so I have a total of 4 buns.
And all 4 buns get tossed out to the birds?
No, just 2 buns extra.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't need 4 buns. So yeah, so I feed the birds. But in Venice, you can't feed the pigeons. I think that's probably a cleanliness thing. They probably don't want like pigeons flying around and stuff.
Pooping everywhere.
Running out of gas on the highway is illegal in Germany. Don't run out. I guess you.
Well, the Autobahn is in Germany, and people fly down the Autobahn. So I don't think you want to run out of gas on the Autobahn. Proceed to get like.
What's the Autobahn?
It's this open highway. It's what they call the highway in Germany. Oh. It's where a lot of cars will go race, and they'll do a lot of like. It's just an open highway.
Like legal street racing.
Yeah, it's legal. It's legal. Yeah. But
okay.
yeah, I wouldn't want to be without gas on the Autobahn. Probably get rammed right into.
Don't run out of gas. I feel like that's more of a like, hey, if you're running out of gas, you're causing all this traffic and we're wasting time here.
Facts.
I that's what I feel like. That's where that came from.
Have you ever? I've never ran out of gas in my life, bro. Like, have you ever?
That's a good question. I know. I've been close to running out of gas.
Same.
I've been to at 0 miles and trying to race to the gas station,
Yeah.
but never have I ever ran out of gas.
Yeah. For same here. I've been real close, but never ran out of gas.
In the UK, you can't handle salmon in suspicious circumstances. I don't even know what that means.
What the hell?
Wearing camouflage clothing in Barbados is illegal, apparently. I wonder if that applies to Crocs, because I have camouflage Crocs that I like to wear. Where is Barbados?
I know. I don't know, but it sounds like an island.
Wearing high heels at ancient monuments in Greece. I feel like if you're going to an ancient monument, it's like a tourist thing to do, so you're probably wearing sneakers, right? Unless you're like,
I would think so.
going for a photo shoot or something.
And what if you're getting like married there or something?
Yeah. By the way, this is Wealth. This is from Wealth on that Instagram page. Wealth. You know it. Chewing gum in Singapore is illegal. There's a lot of things that are illegal in Singapore.
So I will say Singapore, I did a read about Singapore. It's the cleanest country, one of the cleanest countries in the entire world.
Yeah.
Littering's illegal. That almost makes it is on point with the type of cleanliness they have because they don't want you spitting your gum out.
So you think it's based on the cleanliness?
Yeah, it's one of the cleanest countries in the entire world. Like littering is very much illegal there. Like it's jailable. So
yeah, I hear
I've
like
always wanted to go to Singapore.
I thought it was a respect thing because like chewing gum can be seen as disrespectful for some whatever reason. So you can't chew gum in Singapore. Flying a kite in Bermuda. Have you ever flown a kite before?
I may have.
I think I tried as a kid, but no. And then walking a camel down city streets in Arizona. So don't do that in the state of Arizona.
If you're my people out there, no walking your camel down the streets.
Don't walk your camel down here. Yeah. Have you heard of Love Island? It's a very popular show right now.
I've heard of it. Never seen it. Don't know anything about it.
Yeah, we're going to play a game later on with Love Island. Yeah, I started it. My friend got me onto it. I'm only on episode like 8 or something, but it's super popular right now. It's insane. There's watch parties going on here in Dallas.
That's where I've heard of it was like a watch party.
Over at Milo's. If you know
Milo.
Yeah. But
shout out to Milo.
I got a game for you. I offered Sahaj. I gave him 2 different options for this game, and one of the options I'll just explain later. I'll explain it later. I saw this other story. Flying car with 620-mile range scheduled for upcoming launch. Don't you think we shouldn't have like flying cars at this point?
Bro, yeah. I'm not really the one for that type of.
That you wouldn't do it?
No.
Does it scare you?
It scares the hell out of me. I feel like you're relinquishing control.
But you'd be in control.
In the air, you'd be in control.
Like it's like
what if
driving
something
a
happens?
car. Well, I mean,
The only place I can go is down.
yeah, that's a good point. The Klein Vision Air car is promising. After 30 years of development, the flying car is finally about to become a reality for early buyers. I was reading through some of this, and it's in Slovakia is where these founders started. So it's like a regular car. It takes gas and stuff, but it also flies, and it goes up to like 155 miles per hour up in the air, 124 miles, like on the road, and it's a sporty looking car. This is what it looks like. I don't know if viewers are gonna be able to see that, but there it is. I mean, is that the future though? Is that like what we're gonna be doing?
It sounds like, and I feel like Tesla's gonna be like the next one. I feel like Tesla's gonna put out something like that because a Robo-Taxi is just launched in Austin, Texas. So
what is that? What is a Robo-Taxi?
So it's essentially a taxi that's just driven autonomously. So like there is no driver, and Tesla does Robo-Taxi rides in Austin for $4.20 one way, and it was a huge success. So they let it out in public streets and all that.
It drives itself. You said
drives itself.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a drive itself taxi.
Yeah.
And so yeah, dude, crazy because Tesla stock shot up like 9% after the success last week. So, but yeah, anyways, it's an autonomous taxi, and $4.20 gets you to your location one way. Not bad. Flat fee too. Flat fee.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's a lot cheaper than like an Uber, right?
100%. And the thing is, it was actually a success. So when they launched it in Austin, there weren't any accidents or there wasn't any type of hiccups with it. So it's still in its infancy, but I think it's
because there's Waymo. That's another self-driving vehicle.
Yeah, I heard of that. Is that the? Yeah, I thought I've seen those.
It'd be hard, and of course the government's gonna want to regulate like one, self-driving, and two, like flying cars, heavily regulate that stuff.
Of course,
it's like,
hell yeah.
How do you have traffic operations up there? I guess like, I mean, air traffic control as it is, when with all the regulations that there is kind of chaotic already, right?
Yeah, air traffic control is a disaster right now, actually.
Yeah. So to operate the air car on the road, you will need a standard driver's license, just like any other car. If you want to take to the skies, you'll need a private pilot's license.
Ah, there it is.
According to Climb Vision, the air car is designed so that you already have a private pilot's license. If you already have one, you won't have to learn anything new to fly it. So yeah, you'll have to that. And do you want to know what the price is for something like this if you're interested in buying it?
$220,000.
No, it's expected to cost between $800K and $1.2 million, which puts it in the same category as high-end supercars and small private planes. It's definitely geared towards the mega-rich business travelers, air taxi operators, anyone who wants to skip traffic and simply fly over it instead.
I don't know, man. For 800 to 1.2, I'm looking at hypercars more so than something that flies itself.
What kind of cars?
Like hypercars. I'm looking at like a Bugatti Veyron or Chiron, or I'm looking at a McLaren McLaren Senna. I don't know, man. Ferrari F40. Like, I feel like these are the kind of cars I'm looking at for that price point.
Yeah,
but
and you also need a runway with this car too.
Yeah,
so you can
just because you have your private pilot's license, that doesn't mean you can get on Highway 35 and just launch up.
That'd be kind of sick though.
Dude, that'd be scary.
Like, imagine
like you see it in traffic.
Sitting in traffic, just like and you're like, all right, boom, and you fly.
That'd be pretty cool, but that'd be freaking scary.
Sick.
Be like, what in the UFO hell is this?
That'd be awesome.
Oof, that next
Morgan
article,
Wallen.
baby. Let's go.
Morgan Wallen launched his I'm the Problem Tour 2025 in Houston with 2 shows at NRG Stadium on Friday and Saturday, June 20th, 21st. Tour is named for Wallen's 4th studio album, which became his 3rd consecutive release to the top Billboard album chart, while breaking streaming records on Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon Music, and becoming the most successful country album of 2025 so far.
There we go.
First day of
Keep saying it, bro. Keep saying it.
So Hodge went to the opening show.
Damn right I
in
did.
Houston. We sent him over there.
You did not.
The show flew him out there in a private jet, in a flying car. And how was it?
Dude, 3rd Morgan Wallen concert.
Yeah. You go every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 performance. 10 out of 10 performance. The theatrics that he put on, the set list he put on, all around an amazing show. You would think after the 3rd time, you kind of know what to expect and to make it could be kind of repetitive. Nah, dude, nah. When he played the song I'm the Problem midway through, and what he did was on both of the mega TVs at NRG, he had all the articles that were written about him back years ago, like the nasty headlines. He actually had people's Twitter handles, like put full name, the check mark, and their nasty comments up there. He put everyone on Front Street and then proceeded to light the whole stage on fire and essentially put a middle finger to everybody that doubted him years ago from all the controversies. But you know what, dude? We've been rocking with him, though. We've been rocking with him. And so I thought that concert, bro, amazing. And we sat in the
on the floor.
We were floor seats, so freaking amazing. And I think next time we're gonna go mosh, like the mosh part, which is like all the way
like
up
the
there.
pit,
like the pit. Sorry, good call. So we're gonna go to the pit,
but you don't get a seat in the pit. Which I guess you don't really need a seat because you're standing the entire time.
Yeah, dude. Standing the entire time. But dude, oh shit, Morgan Wallen gave me a high five.
Yeah.
I forgot to say that part.
Yeah.
This man
I
gave
wrote
me a
it
high
down.
five.
So you didn't forget. I was going to bring it up.
Yeah, this man gave me a high five. He was doing the thing where he walks, he'll cut through the center of the arena and then perform some. He performed like quite a few a cappella songs.
Did you do Cover Me Up?
Yeah, dude.
I love
so
that song.
so when he went when he went to the center of the stadium to walk to the back stage and put on a bunch of acoustic songs, the first song he put was Cover Me Up. And then on his way back to the main stage, he was walking like with security and all that. He was giving high fives and he gave me a high five, dude. That was freaking sick.
And Taj hasn't washed his hands ever
Nah,
since.
I have. I've done more to my hands than I've ever have.
He
I'm just
started
kidding.
licking his fingers right after he got high-fived by Morgan Wallen.
Oh, all right. You know what?
He
Enough.
fisted him. He put his whole fist in his mouth. I don't even know you could possibly do that, but apparently it's a Hotch can.
No, but anyways, great performance, great show. Gonna go again. No surprise.
Is Morgan Wallen the country version of Taylor Swift? Even though some people would argue Taylor Swift is country. Well, it used to be country.
I think he is.
Is he as big as Taylor Swift? Just different audience?
I don't think he's as big as Taylor Swift. I don't think he's as big as Taylor Swift, but so I'm gonna categorize Taylor Swift as like the pop genre, right?
Right, she's pop.
So she's
I agree.
she's the biggest pop artist of all freaking time.
Yeah.
I think Morgan Wallen is the biggest country artist.
Right now of all time.
No, right now.
Right now, yeah.
And I don't think he's going anywhere. The past few years, like since Dangerous, a double album, he's been on this exponential curve.
Dangerous
upward.
was insane.
Bro.
And one of my favorite albums. Like I used to run to that album.
Yeah, no, like his popularity is on an exponential curve up. Like there's people who don't listen to country music and now are on Morgan Wallen and have like all of a sudden just fallen in love. Max Tuning,
Max, I love Max.
Emily. So there's I think more and more people are becoming being introduced to country with Morgan Wallen as their kind of like starter artist. I think Morgan Wallen, I think he's gonna continue to go up.
Yeah.
Give it another couple of years, he probably has a double album they already started on.
Give me your top. Let's get top 3 country artists right now, and you don't have to rank them. Just like name 3 when you think country right now, 2025 country. Who are and I ask you this because I honestly have not been listening. I used to listen to a lot of country back in the early 2010s. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm old country. I'm kidding, but and by old country I mean like Luke Bryan, Brad Paisley, Tim McGraw, which some people would say that's not old country, that's new country. And I'm like, well, that's kind of like country when I was listening to a lot of country. Those are the Miranda Lambert, Lady A. So these are people that like, yeah. But when you think top country artists 2025, who are the big 3 for you right now? Not in any particular order, but
Morgan Wallen,
MW,
Parker McCollum,
Parker. Okay, I have a case for Parker.
and then let's see the third one. Who I'm trying to think who else I listened to. Man, I think the third one I'll probably go with Warren Zeters.
I don't know who that is. You see, I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, he has some radio hits, but he's
Warren what?
Warren Zeters.
Zeters. I'd play his music, but then we'd get copyrighted, and we don't want that.
Yeah, so for me, those are the top 3. Warren Zeters isn't as popular as the 2, but Warren Zeters.
Have you heard of Hudson Westbrook?
Yeah, I have.
He's a up and coming guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like him?
I may have heard a song. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard a song from him this past week. House Again, I think it's called.
Oh yeah, I heard that song.
I thought it was good. Good breakup song, right?
I think
I guess.
so.
Yeah, it sounds like a breakup song. But by the way, Morgan's, it was the biggest first week any album in any genre has enjoyed so far in 2025. His new album, I'm the Problem. Lots of songs in that album. So yeah, no. If I had to name the top 3 for me right now, Morgan, of course, is the leader in country music in 2025. I think Luke Combs comes to mind for me. I think he's kind of still up there.
Yeah. Good call. I don't know how I forgot that. But
And then Parker, I think, is up and like Parker is still on his way up there. I don't.
his new album just dropped yesterday, right?
Yeah, or Friday.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Parker, yeah, I'm gonna go see him in mid-July.
Oh, you know who else I put on country, bro?
Who?
My brother.
Oh, G-Vox.
Well, I would take. I think I put him. I think I put him on Morgan Wallen, but I think he was into Zach Bryan, right?
Okay, Zach Bryan was
Shit,
There's
Zach Bryan.
There's
dude.
there's some Zach Bryan Nation
Bryan.
country for sure. Yeah, that's another name that comes up a lot.
Yeah.
And
Popular guy.
Megan Maroney. Let's not forget about our female country artist.
Megan Maroney, Ella Langley, and what's the other one's name, bro? She has a bar on Nashville. She has a bar on in that strip on Nashville.
Reba McEntire.
No, bro. Lainey Wilson. Sorry. So Ella Langley, Lainey Wilson, and Megan Maroney.
Megan Maroney. I like Megan.
Yeah,
Maroney.
Megan's
She's
good,
great.
dude.
Yeah.
She's good.
So yeah,
What'd you think of? So have you listened to the whole Morgan album?
I have not yet.
Have you listened to a few songs?
Like I listen to I try to start. I always start from I take it in different pieces. I listen to the first 10 songs and the next 10 songs. So yeah, I bet the one that my favorite is the second one. Better Now, Better Me. Whatever.
I Got Better.
I got better. I got better. Yeah,
that's a great song.
Yeah, that's my favorite. You doing a lot of traveling this year?
Traveling.
I came across this. I'm sorry, where you went somewhere?
Just
Houston,
between
Houston.
Houston, New York, New Jersey, probably some other countries at the end of the year. Nothing's set in stone yet.
I went to Cancun. Wasn't I up in Colorado in the wintertime? I think I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Not a whole lot of traveling. I generally do a little more traveling, but we're on a budget. Here are the TripAdvisor's best of the best destinations right now. I don't know. I was going through this list and I was like, I don't know about this list. Let me know what you think. West Palm Beach, Florida is number 1.
Never been, so don't know.
But I'm understanding this whole how people when they get older they move to Florida and they're like, we love Florida because of the weather.
My parents, yeah.
I'm understanding that. I get it now.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm starting to understand it.
I'm about to, because I never understood it. I always was like, why do people move to Florida to retire? This is crazy because of the weather. They don't like cold. I'm like, I get it now. I think I'm going to
Wait, but why? Why do you get it? Because we have great weather here in Texas and we're cheaper than them.
The cold just sucks. Cold weather just, it hurts. It hurts to it's so nice when you're able to just get out of the house in shorts and t-shirt. Not a whole lot of clothing.
Just naked, with your balls out.
Sure.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Mom.
Number 2, Santa Barbara, California, top destination. Number 3, Cleveland, Ohio.
What? Cleveland?
This is where your stuff got.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, it gets even more interesting. This list. This is from TripAdvisor, by the way.
That's why I don't buy anything.
Let us know who's going to Cleveland, Ohio, and Kansas City, Missouri. Is that a big destination? No offense if you live in Cleveland or in Kansas City, but what is there to do?
Get shot in Cleveland.
What? Guys, number 5, Memphis.
What the? One of the most violent cities in the entire United States is on. God, TripAdvisor's lost all its credibility. Burn that.
I think maybe TripAdvisor wants people to go visit these cities because the tourism is down.
Yeah, they're trying to bump their GDP up because it's just freaking
but
turmoil there.
Tennessee is beautiful. You say you've been to Tennessee.
Okay, Nashville, Tennessee's beautiful. Tennessee, Smoky Mountains, beautiful. Memphis, I've cut through Memphis, not beautiful. Drive right through. Don't even stop. Keep going.
Park City, Utah comes at number 6.
See, that's better.
Okay,
that's better.
Utah, Juneau, Alaska.
All right, I can get with some.
They probably have beautiful summers down there. Denver, Colorado, they probably have a beautiful summer. I just saw a video of someone in Denver. Brooklyn, New York. I've never been to New York.
I've been okay. I can get with that because New York summers are nice, and I've been there. Been to Brooklyn.
How's Brooklyn? Is that a suburb?
No, dude. It's in the city. It's like a borough of New York City. Oh. It's very nice. It's arts. It's like the artsy area of New York City. Very nice though.
Okay.
You ever seen that big brown bridge that people take a picture of? I
think so. In the movies and stuff.
Yeah. That's Dumbo Brooklyn. And so very nice area. Got like mom and pop stuff, rooftop bars. Great.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
And pleasant. Hilton Head, South Carolina.
All right. Okay. I've never been there, but sounds about right.
South Carolina sounds like a beautiful state. Number 11, Fort Worth, Texas. Right, our next door neighbors.
But here's the thing: there's multiple people in the past week that recommended Fort Worth, so there may be something to that one.
Recommended it to you?
Yeah, like recommended to go to Fort Worth, check it out, visit it. I've never been, so I guess there's something there.
Fairbanks, Alaska comes in at number 12 again. Probably a nice summer. Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
What? Why? So you
Lake
get shot
Michigan.
there? Go to Chicago. Jeez.
Number 14. Zaj is not gonna like this one.
Oh my
Baltimore,
God.
Maryland.
Have y'all seen the show The Wire? Yo, no, get this. I met someone from Baltimore yesterday at work, Friday at work, and she was from there. And I was like, so is Baltimore just as bad as like they portray in the news and the TV show The Wire? She's like, it's literally like The Wire. I'm like, so it's bad. She's like, oh, it's bad. And I was like, how are the police there? She's like, very nice, but also like they're nice, but they're also very corrupt. I was like, well, why is that on TripAdvisor's list? She's like, Baltimore's something you just want to drive through, pass through, and never stop. I was like, and that's from a local. Anyways. God
and number
bless.
15 in Detroit, Michigan.
God,
So
my God.
if you want to, first of all, so I trashed your city just now. We're sorry.
And Detroit?
but
Chicago's not even on the list,
I
bro.
saw that list and I was like, I think some of these cities they need people to go visit. So maybe they said that, you know.
Yeah.
You had something on there that I thought was interesting on the today's outline. And by
What
the
is
way,
it?
today we did plan. This is the first prepared show that I've had in a long time. Even though we always have an outline, but I never go through it like before the show, like I should be. And today I was like, you know what? Let's prepare a little bit.
I feel like the other one flows a little better, though.
Really?
Yeah.
That's how you see. I understand what you're saying because this feels more like controlled and more like, you know, it has more of boundaries and stuff.
Boundaries.
But it also kind of helps me. Because there's articles that come in throughout the week, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of interesting. I want to talk about this. So it kind of keeps things going, you know, flowing. So it may flow, but what I'm trying to say, it may flow better to us because I kind of sort of agree with you. Mm-hmm. But then when I listen back to the episode and I listen to an episode that's well prepared, I'm like, man, I think the more well prepared ones kind of flow better for the listener than like just kind of like going all over the place with the politics stuff.
Gotcha. Well, interested to see how this one plays or flows when we play it back.
When you play it back and listen as a listener. Run it back. But you had something on the outline. And the question was, does money buy happiness?
Oof.
So I'm asking you your own question. Does money buy happiness?
I think money does buy happiness. And if you equate happiness with time, then I think money does buy happiness.
Yeah, you always steal my answer because I've given this answer.
Well, I stole your answer because I agree with it, and we never rehearsed this question before. It's something we've talked about in the squad car. Anyways, no, I think it does. But also, money also buys you
toys, cars.
It buys you right. It buys you the luxuries of life too, and I think that to a certain extent, you should indulge in the finer things in life, especially if you've worked hard for it. So yes, I do agree. Money buys happiness. What about you?
No, same thing. I think
copying me.
Money itself doesn't buy you happiness, in my opinion. I think, like you stated, time is what buys or what gives me more joy because when you have time to do the things that you actually want to do, like hang out with friends or hang out with family, help out your friends. Sometimes I get frustrated because I don't, like my mom calls me and she has a problem, like the dog needs this or this needs to get done, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't have time.
Right.
And it's not, and I don't think it's the frustration. I was thinking about this. I was like, it's not frustrating to hear about my mother's problems or my family's problems. That's not what frustrating. The frustration for me is that I want to help, but I don't have time to help you.
You're right.
And that's what causes me frustration because it's like, I want to help you, but I don't have time. And it just, it really frustrates me. And I'm like, man, I need more time. Like I need more time. And, to actually do the things that I want to do, to help and like that brings me joy. That brings me joy. So yeah, money doesn't buy happiness directly, but indirectly, yeah, it gives you. If you have all the money in the world, you don't have to stress about bills. You don't have to stress about anything. You just kind of like do what you want to do.
Right, and you just have to be careful with that too, because that I think if you're grateful for it, then you'll appreciate it, and you'll end up using that money just for the betterment of yourself, your other people, and stuff like that. But you also have to be careful that you don't get so caught up in that your entire lifestyle is just strictly based upon money and the luxuries, and you kind of lose touch with reality. But I do think that money buys happiness, and I think that
also indirectly though. You indirectly think it buys happiness.
Yeah, like money indirectly buys happiness. It does. And I don't think anyone should be selfish, or I don't think anyone should feel bad for believing that, because I feel like there's this connotation that money equals greed and stuff like that. You're right. Money could equal greed if you let money control you. And I mean, let me be the one that speaks on that, because of just I felt like at one point, so I've gotten a lot better with my relationship with money, and there's a lot more work to be done. But I do feel like back in the day, I would work myself to the bone just because of all the overtime opportunities, the off-duty jobs, to just make decent chunks of cash. And I remember Tony and I would go back and forth on this, well, what's the point? What are you using it for? What do you need? What? And I wouldn't have an answer. I would just be like, I just want to save. And so at that point, I would be sacrificing my happiness for money. And then I think now I've gotten a little better at it. I still need a lot of work, because I still will work myself down, but I have become a lot more flexible with money. I've learned to use money and use it for things that I want to, and not just you must have a certain amount saved up. And so I think money is one of those things that can be very tricky. You can't let you can't let money control you. You have to control money. So essentially your mind has to control money.
Yeah, 100%. It can't be your God,
right. You can't worship it. Good point.
But yeah, I've also learned, because I think you were really money conscious, and I was the complete opposite of that. Whereas I don't give a rat's about money, and I still don't. I really don't care about money, but I learned that I have to control it. I have to manage it. I have to, because if I don't, then I'm not doing myself a good service, or my finances. And sometimes I still do. I still act like I'm a billionaire around here, but that's okay, because we're gonna be a billionaire.
But right, like you said, and so both polar ends of
we were
it's just not healthy. It wasn't healthy. I think there has to be balance. But I want all the money in the freaking world. Yeah, I want to work hard.
Yeah, I want all the money in the world so I can have all the time in the world. I can do whatever I want.
I want to take care of my family.
Yeah, and retire my mother, and give back to people. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Speaking of kind of tied to that, and you put this on there, do you prefer materialistic things or personal experiences?
Yeah. So this question I was thinking about the other day when I was by myself working for hours.
I like the deep. Yeah. Hey, honestly, all my topics were on there were pretty on surface level. You brought the deep questions, and I love it.
So is it? Can I say both? Is that fair to say both?
No, you gotta choose one.
Jeez.
I mean, you can. It's not black or white, but yeah, I think
I'm gonna say both, dude.
No, just choose one though. What do you prefer the most? I'll answer for you. I think I know.
No, I think at this stage in my life, I do like the materialistic possessions.
Yeah.
I do like experiencing.
And you're specific about the materialistic.
Very specific.
It doesn't mean you have to have a nice TV.
No,
you have to have
my TV's falling apart right now. I don't even think it connects to Wi-Fi half the time.
Yeah,
anyways.
But you're not a big TV guy, you know? So...
No, so I think this stage in my life, I do like enjoying the materialistic possessions, and I'm really only into cars. So at the end of the day, between and I'm really happy to to have to have the couple cars that I do. But I also feel like I'm young, right? I feel like at this stage in my life, like it's cool to get that stuff out of your system. That's not to say when I'm 50, I'm not going to want nice cars. I may, but I'll have different priorities in life at that point, right? So I think right now I do like enjoying them. I do like enjoying the nice vehicles, like a nice gym. I do enjoy, like, you know, going to like well, concerts are experiences, I guess. Gyms are also experiences too. Anyways, so yeah, and I do like to indulge in eating out. I do like to and stuff like that. It's literally the only thing, bro. I literally only buy vehicles and eat out. That's it.
Yeah.
Anyways, so at this stage, that is what it is. But I'm also learning to navigate that. My priorities are also shifting into
he
like
has ramen noodles inside his
dead ass have ramen noodles in the freaking thing
inside his $100,000 plus vehicles.
But I will say this. I will
Just kidding.
I will say this. I have ramen noodles inside of the cabinet right now, and they're freaking great.
No, those are ramen. I honestly
They're
like
so
when you
good,
cook
dude.
those. When I smell it, they smell good.
Yeah, it freaking smells like Thai food. Anyways,
Now I want Thai food.
I say I like indulging in food, bro. I literally have a Domino's app, and I buy Domino's every single week to accumulate points. That's my indulgence at the end of the day. But no, I'm slowly starting to do this whole personal experiencing. I've gotten out a lot more, started traveling a lot more, started experiencing different. I think the Guatemala trip was like literally, and then our Mexico City trip. I just think this is like this. That was my segue into experiences.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to give the cliche answer if I like both, but no, at this stage, I feel like I'm like materialistic, but then I'm segueing into experiences. What about you?
I'm definitely personal experiences for sure, 100%. But I like nice things. I like to find the things.
You
in
like
life.
nice things.
Yeah,
right?
don't get me wrong. Like a TV. If my TV goes, I can buy it. But I'm a big TV guy. I love TV, beds and things like that. I like convenience, and like if I go on a trip, I want to stay at a nice hotel or a nice Airbnb because
Hell yeah.
I don't want to be inconvenienced, you know?
Right.
So I guess I don't know if you consider those materialistic possessions. But
I would say those are experiences, bro. Some of this, like the bed and the TV, materialistic. Yeah. The rest of the stuff.
And I don't think you're like this, and I'm not like this. But there are people out there who like the materialistic stuff to like kind of show off or like be like some sort of like status thing.
No.
And I don't think it's, for me, it's always like a convenience. For you, I think you really truly enjoy that, like the cars and stuff like that. Like that's like it brings you joy.
Yeah. No, I appreciate the cars a lot.
Yeah, and for me, it's just practicality. But yeah, I love personal experiences. Nice personal experience.
Yeah, nice one.
Like traveling and like staying at a nice Airbnb hotel with people and like just building those memories. But I think, like I said in the last podcast, I don't know how I record so many podcasts. I'm a big people person, and I think I'm realizing that now more than ever. Yeah. So there's that. So Love Island, I'm like on episode 8 of Love Island. So I'm like, I don't know the entire cast. I'm not caught up yet. But I told Sahaj, hey, I'm watching Love Island. It's a very popular thing. I think we should do something about Love Island on the show. And I said, I've got 2 options for you, though. One may get you in trouble, and then the other one, you kind of just show the people how comfortable you are with your sexuality.
Oof.
So I want to do, because you don't watch Love Island. I didn't expect him to watch Love Island. He's not a big TV guy, you know, and definitely not a big reality TV guy. But I said, I want to play a game. We'll call it Who Would You Date out of the Love Island cast. I can give you the group of girls that I know up until episode 8, or the group of guys, okay? Group of girls, probably going to get you in trouble, okay? It's going to get you in trouble. Or you can do the group of guys and, you know, just show the world that you're comfortable and you can rate guys. And he said, I'll do the group of guys. So we're doing...
You know what? I want to do a switcheroo.
No, we've prepared for the guys.
Just kidding.
I'm going to give him a picture of 2 of the guys. And then he's gonna decide whether or not who he would date out of these 2 guys, and then we'll go down the list and then see if he wants to drop someone. Okay, so we got Ace and Nick here. You got Ace and Nick. Who would you date? Ace and Nick from Love Is Blind. Nick.
Yeah, Nick.
He's a good-looking guy. That's a good-looking guy
he's a
right
good-looking
there. He's a
dude.
good. He's also my favorite too.
Yeah.
He's a good-looking guy. Okay, so Nick, that's your boyfriend. Hold your boyfriend.
All right, it's my boyfriend.
That's your.
It's my boyfriend.
Okay, here comes a bombshell. Even though he was not a bombshell, but for the purposes of this podcast, he is. Taylor. Taylor just came in. He wants to date you. Are you dropping Nick?
Hard pass.
Hard pass.
Feminine. He's too feminine. The hair. Come on.
Okay, here comes another one. Austin. Would you date Austin? Drop Nick for Austin. Who you keep? Are you keeping Nick?
Keeping Nick.
He's keeping Nick. He's sticking with Nick. All right, here comes another one. And by the way, if these guys are eliminated from the show right now, I don't know. So I'm just going off the cast that I know. Charlie comes in. He'll stay coupled up with Nick.
Giorgio.
He does have an accent. He has an accent.
Staying with Nick.
Staying with Nick. Okay. I think we got one more. Yeah, one more. Nick or Jeremiah? Jeremiah's
Nick.
good looking.
Nick. Let me see.
Oh, wow. He didn't even think about Jeremiah.
It looked like he got women titties. All right, pass. Too much estrogen on that one.
So if you're a day guy, you want a masculine guy. Nick
That's right.
Nick is a winner. Nick is a hot share.
Nick is the winner.
He's a good-looking guy, honestly.
Yeah, he's a good-looking
He's
dude.
a really good.
He's a good-looking guy. He
Yeah.
looks like a douchebag, but he's a good-looking guy.
He's actually a nurse. Yeah.
Oh, so he's a douchebag.
I feel like nurse guys aren't douchebags. I feel like they got to be like really good people person, to be a nurse, to be in that field.
Can't mean that you're not a douchebag.
I don't know. Don't talk about him like that. Damn. All right, big political story. Of course, we got to talk about politics a little bit. Iran. The U.S. bombed Iran's nuclear facilities last weekend, I believe it was. I've been watching a lot of news coverage over the week about this, and you know what it reminds me of? The Top Gun mission.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I've been wanting to watch that movie all week long. I just haven't had a chance to.
Great movie. We saw it in theaters, didn't we, bro?
Did we?
We did.
Okay, I went with Watson for the first.
And then you went again with me.
And then I went with you.
That was good.
Okay,
That
yeah,
was
I was
good.
like, it's so good. And then I bought the movie. This is an article that came out from the White House, like on June 25th. The world is far safer after President Donald J. Trump highly successful, decisive precision strikes against the Iranian regime's key nuclear facility. President Trump said monumental damage was done to all nuclear sites in Iran, as shown by satellite images. Obliteration is an accurate term. The white structure shown is deeply embedded into the rock, with even its roof well below ground and completely shielded from flame. The biggest damage took place far below ground level. Bullseye. So I think they put this article out because there's a lot of media going around saying like, hey, was this like questioning the effectiveness of the strike? Like, did you guys even have to do this? So,
I mean, it's a valid question, right?
yeah.
Like, did we really have to do that? I'm just glad that it was a success. I'm also glad that no American lives were hurt because, and the B-2 stealth bombers that were used.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how amazing our military tech is, bro? Those things were built in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
They're literally being used like 23 years later to carry out such a behind enemy lines strike, if you will. Like, that's impressive. If that's what we had if that's what was built in the early 2000s, imagine what the hell we have now. That's crazy. This blows my mind. Anyways,
Insane.
I don't know, dude, because here's my thing. I've always felt that and I'm not too well versed in this topic, but anyways, I wasn't the biggest fan of the U.S. getting involved in doing something like that. I was thinking more so, okay, if there's one country that's going to do that, it'll be Israel that takes out that stuff and we can supply them with whatever. But I
don't think they have the capability though. Like, they just don't have the
right.
training.
Well, can we
or
supply them?
resources.
Maybe supply them all their military equipment.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that would work.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I wasn't the biggest fan. I only thought that this would escalate and this would lead to unnecessary. Here's the thing, right? Donald Trump ran on the No Wars campaign, right? He took pride in the No Wars campaign, and I still think that. And I thought that this kind of was a segue into something that could have been really nasty, and I don't think it's going to get any more because of the ceasefire. But I wasn't the biggest fan of it. But then again, if someone can change my mind and tell me why we did what we did, and if it was something that Iran was going to plan against us, or if Iran has an agreement with the countries like the U.S. on, hey, we will not build nuclear weapons, then maybe you can change my mind. I just don't know too much about
I
it.
think I read a little more into the why behind, because that's what I want to know. What is the why behind
what's
what we
the why?
did? And from what I understood is that Iran had entered these international agreements saying, hey, we're not going to have a certain level of uranium and all this other stuff, all these logistics specifics I won't bore you with. But nevertheless, they entered an agreement, international agreements, basically them saying that they're not going to pursue any nuclear weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Intel finds out that there are indeed heavily pursuing nuclear weapons. How much, how like in Domino's, when you order your pizza, it gives you the little status bar of when your pizza's gonna be in the oven and it's like ready. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I wish we could see a status bar of Iran developing a nuclear weapon. I don't know where exactly on that bar they were. I haven't done enough research to know. I don't know if anyone knows, quite frankly. But maybe people high up in intelligence know. But for us to do what we did, I feel like they probably were getting close to that. Your pizza is ready status,
Yeah.
And of course, you sign these agreements, Iran, and now all of a sudden you're not following through with them. So here we are. And like I said, that Top Gun movie, it's almost the same exact thing. I think they were bombing the nuclear sites because there was a uranium level that they had exceeded, and they said they weren't going to exceed it against NATO treaties in the movie. And I was like, man, it just kind of sounds like Top Gun Maverick mission. So I thought that was interesting. But it seems like Israel and Iran stopped the war. They came to a ceasefire. I haven't done any more research on whether or not that was the ceasefire has been respected, but hopefully it has. And Donald Trump was pissed off earlier in the week. You heard that video of him saying they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. And you know what? Based off the stuff that you just said, it does make sense as to why the United States did conduct those airstrikes against Iran. I just don't like how we're so up Israel's ass. I just feel like that the United States does so much for Israel, or does everything in their power to help Israel.
Where there's a whole religious kind of sentiment towards Israel.
I'm going to challenge that though, because I'm not a fan of that, right? I just, you can believe in whatever you want to believe at the end of the day, but I don't believe that we carry out attacks, almost catalysts to war attacks, because we have some type of holy religion type of thing that concerns Israel. I think we've segued in times, right? That must have been once upon a time and biblical times and stuff like that. But I do believe that, dude, I'm not their president or their minister Netanyahu. Dude, not a fan, bro. Just a war hog, bro. I think he's just a war hog.
At least it seems like that, right?
He's just a war hog, bro. And just like the movie War Hogs on Netflix, right? Y'all should watch it. But anyways, I just think that, look, if we can not decimate, and I'm not gonna say I'm pro-Palestine either, but I'm pro-humanity in that sense. Can you guys not decimate the Palestinian people off the map? I get it if they're terrorists and stuff like that, but man, there's a whole lot of innocent people that are dying in that battle. And then not only that, you obliterate Palestine, decimate Palestine, And then you say that you caught Iran you essentially caught Iran lacking, and you thought it was the most appropriate time to carry out different strikes against Iran. And then you go that way. And where does it end? So I'm not a big fan of following a country's lead just because they have some type of biblical tie
For
to the United
religious
States
purposes.
for religious purposes.
Simply for religion.
Simply for religious purposes. So that's where that's where my almost disdain for Israel, if you will. I love the Israeli people, but their leader, I'm not a big fan of it, bro. I just think that if you do things in the name of religion, let's think about it. Let's think about it really quickly, and we'll get off this topic. But think about it. When we were at war against the Taliban, ISIS, Al Qaeda, what did those three terrorist organizations have in common? They conducted military operations, strikes against the U.S., killing U.S. soldiers, 9/11, in the name of religion. They stated that before they would freaking blow shit up, they would be like, Allah Akbar. Essentially, they're saying, in the name of Allah, their prophet, we're going to kill 70 U.S. soldiers, and we're praising God by doing this. I think we need to draw a line on where we stop doing things in the name of religion, because it didn't go the right. That shit was ISIS and Al Qaeda and all that, disgusting, right? So I don't know, man. I'm not a big fan of war hog stuff. I'm a fan of America. I'm a fan of humanitarian stuff, and if we gotta go to war, then yes, let's go to war. Let's take care of business. Let's annihilate and decimate our enemies, completely decimate them off the map, if you will. But let's not do it in the name of religion, and let's not do it just because we're trying to be war hogs and just take over things. And I feel like the Netanyahu guy, he's kind of a war hog, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a clip of Ted Cruz and Tucker Carlson. I don't know. I'm sure if you've seen it on social media.
I saw that.
And how Tucker was like, whoa, but God was defending the Israeli people or whatever. Like the government of Israel isn't like. I'm paraphrasing here. Don't quote me on it, but it basically we don't know if Jesus would have backed the government of Israel. You know, the current government. We don't know that. So yeah, I mean, there's religious, but I'm reminded right now of and I'm watching The Chosen on Prime, so a lot of biblical references in that show. I think they do a very good job. But yeah, it's kind of I'm reminded of how Jesus' disciples in that show, at least, and I think they do a good job of reflecting the Bible itself. They're kind of they portray them as people who are expecting Jesus to come and overthrow the Roman government, who was over Israel at the time, and free the Israelites, and that Jesus was like, I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to be a king. I'm not here to do all that stuff,
Right.
So that
there you go.
it's they expected this warrior to come in and destroy the Roman people and stuff, and Jesus was like, no, I'm not here to do that, actually. So
See.
that's kind of what the message my interpretation of watching the show, at least. So yeah, it's an interesting point. And it's something I told my mom too, because she's very pro-Israel. I'm like, well, we have to really think about what the Israeli is the government in Israel is doing, and is it something that, and I don't know I don't keep up with current events of Israel and their government, but you have to really think about it, because I wouldn't want to go into something just simply based on religious reasonings. Now, if we're doing it because hey, they've violated their agreements, they're coming closer to a nuclear weapon, they're a state that sponsors terrorism, and they have all this.
There's intel that's showing that they can attack military bases.
Yeah, they hate America and all this other stuff, and they're not only putting Israel and other countries around them at risk, but the whole world. And they're evil, and we have evidence of them being evil. Then I get it. Let's do it. Let's take a proactive measure, because I'm also all for proactive measures. I'm all for it. I don't think we need to wait for a country to do something in order for us to be on the offense and always be playing defense. I'm all for proactive measures if we can, if there's truly an anticipation of something bad happening. So anyway,
and that's a great way to put it.
Yeah. So there's that, but that's it.
That's it.
No more politics. Politics done, over with. I want to end with this. So there is this. Have you heard of Leo Skeppy? You're not on social media that much. I don't know why I like this video, but this is Leo Skeppy. A lot of people are referencing him on social media, and I don't know why this video just kind of I was like, that's so funny, that makes sense, and I like it. So we'll end with this here.
This just hit me, and I'm about to go make a whole fucking podcast about it. Have you ever heard of a fire wait and ask for permission to burn? No, that's what it's supposed to do. It's just gonna burn. You ever heard of a storm asking for permission to hit? It's over here feeling bad. Oh, I don't want to wreck everything. I don't want to fuck everything up. But it's a storm. This is the biggest ticket of how to be yourself. Stop fighting the fact that you a storm. If you a storm, go fucking be one. If your soul came into this life to be a certain version of you, you don't have any option but to be yourself. So if you're a storm, go fucking hit some shit. If you a fire, what you waiting on? You don't need permission to burn. Light it up.
Light it up. No, so I was like listening to that video for a whole week. I was like, man, I'm a storm today. I'm a storm. This kind of reminds you to be authentically who you're supposed to be. So, a big influencer. I don't know what he's known for, but he's a big influencer. But yeah. Hey, thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. If there's anything you want to talk about, if you want to hear more politics, let us know. If you want to hear more random news stories, let us know. These are like stories that I find interesting, like throughout the week. I'm like, oh, I want to share that.
I like this. I like this. Yeah.
Well, earlier you're like,
yeah, it just sounds more like structured, but I do like the topics.
Yeah, the structure is a little off because we generally don't go with a whole lot of structure here, but I think the structure keeps us on time. It keeps things flowing. It keeps different topics going. Like, So, and I'm not bringing stuff I'm not interested in. Like, I'm not bringing Love Island in just because it's popular right now. I'm bringing it in because I watched it. I like it.
He likes men, so he wants me to rate them too.
I like the idea of Sahaj rating men. So it was great. So I thank you for doing that, by the way. Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining us. Sahaj has to go hit the pool, and I have to go edit this podcast. Thank you. Bye.
Peace.
A podcast unlike any other. You're listening to The Tony Galo Show.